He's crashing here tonight. You can crash on the sofa? She told me about her guy best friend who, D clearly overdone the drinks. She had to keep an eye on him in case anything went wrong. I stayed quiet while she fussed over him. I quietly gathered my belongings and left one note behind. Have fun nursing your patient. Hey everyone, before we jump into the story, if you enjoy these kinds of real-life tales, please hit subscribe and drop a like. It really helps. Thanks. This wasn't the initial occasion her friend Ethan had required her help, yet it marked the first occasion she suggested giving him my half of the mattress. We'd shared 3 full years. I had supported her during the anxiety of losing her job, preparing dinners as she fired off applications. I'd sped through darkness to reach her side when her father suffered a cardiac episode, cradling her for endless hours on those unforgiving hospital seats. Even against my instincts, I had put up with Ethan's ever-present shadow in our relationship. Her charming, forever troubled college buddy, the self-employed lensman whose creations hovered perpetually on the edge of breakthrough, whose property owners were perpetually unfair, whose former partners were perpetually unhinged. Chloe's private rescue mission, packaged in a worn jacket and striking features. The message arrived at 12:37 a.m. on a random Tuesday. My screen glowed on the bedside table first. Ethan. I ignored it, letting voicemail take over. 60 seconds passed, then her device rang. I caught her low voice, the mattress dipping as she propped herself upright. Ethan? Wait, where exactly? That's a ton. You all right? That same sinking weight landed in my stomach again. I fixed my gaze on the ceiling above. She ended the call and faced me. In the dim glow from the clock, I could make out the rehearsed worry carved across her expression. It was Ethan. He's stuck at the hollow. Claims he drank far beyond safe driving limits, and an Uber to his spot would bankrupt him. Then let him hail a taxi, I replied, tone dull from half sleep, or pass out in his own vehicle. He's 30, Chloe. He's crushed. Alex, the exhibition opening tanked tonight. 0 sales. He's shattered. She was tossing the duvet aside already. I said he should come over. I pushed myself upright. Over here? For what reason? Because he requires support? Being solo right now would destroy him? The sofa works fine, I reminded her. The boundary we'd drawn and defended for 2 solid years. She had left the bed, retrieving an additional cushion and the charcoal throw from the storage closet. Her eyes avoided mine. The sofa isn't suitable. He deserves real comfort. He's in a delicate emotional state. A sharp lucidity sliced through my irritation. Then exactly where does he rest? She finally locked eyes with me, gripping the cushion against herself defensively. He's staying in here tonight. You can use the living room sofa. The statement floated between us, ridiculous and insulting. I released a brief, incredulous chuckle. Can't be serious. Stop acting cold. He needs supervision in case trouble arises. What if he vomits? What if panic overwhelms him? You understand his patterns? Supervision. Inside our own mattress. Saying our sounded weak the instant it left my lips. It isn't what you're imagining, Alex. She gave the classic eye roll. Total shutdown. This represented my conclusive evaluation. A measurement of exactly how much indignity I would reframe as devotion. How diminished I would allow myself to shrink in order to remain part of the narrative she constructed in it. She starred as compassionate rescuer while I played mute, dependable background figure. And Ethan? He embodied the endless damsel needing rescue, a position assuring him permanent priority in her focus. She reappeared carrying the damp fabric, attention wholly devoted to her charge. I pivoted and departed. The sofa offered 0 temptation. The notion of stretching out their ears tuned to the quiet of my former sleeping space while she nursed another man constituted a deliberate degradation I declined to accept. An odd, charged tranquility enveloped me. The roar of disloyalty inside my skull ceased abruptly, replaced by cool mechanical precision. Discussion terminated. She had pointed toward exit. I simply chose to travel much farther than her gesture intended. I retrieved my rolling luggage from the corridor storage, the same bag we'd taken on that autumn getaway to Vermont months earlier, maneuvered it into the extra room that doubled as workspace. The latch engaged quietly behind me. I proceeded with surgical detachment. Priorities first. Identification documents. Vehicle ownership. Computer plus cable. Next, from the joint workstation, The envelope containing investment summaries and the pension documents initiated solely by me, predating her, claimed solely my possessions. Back in the master suite, I operated noiselessly. Both slept soundly. Ethan sprawled crookedly over most of the surface, emitting gentle snores. Chloe huddled in an armchair, dragged bedside, forehead pillowed on folded arms atop the sheet, fingers lingering near his upper arm. A devoted guardian. The image might have stirred emotion if it hadn't been extracted from my existence. I slid open my clothing drawers. Jeans, basic shirts, footwear, undergarments. I abandoned the luxury knit she'd gifted on my last birthday. It pinched uncomfortably regardless. I abandoned the goofy, holiday-patterned pairs from our initial December together. Anything symbolizing coupledom remained untouched. In the washroom, toothbrush, shaver, lone face cloth. The fragrance she preferred on my skin stayed behind. Each action remained measured, hushed, fury absent, grief absent, merely a practical equation resolved. The heart-level separation occurred precisely when she delivered her either or demand. This step involved only relocation. Final item retrieved, the compact safe box atop the wardrobe shelf. Grandfather's timepiece rested inside, plus several handwritten notes from my siblings stationed abroad. Possessions meaningful to me well before her arrival. Zipper sealed. One final scan of the space. The intruder occupying my spot. The woman standing vigil beside him. Emptiness greeted me, not fury. Merely an immense void replacing where affection once resided. Kitchen counter. I located the inexpensive ballpoint she always mocked, the giveaway one that jammed constantly. Beside the ceramic dish she'd selected during an antique outing, I placed one blank page. No lengthy essay, no justification offered. She comprehended already, no pain expressed. She lacked interest. Farewell omitted. That emotion no longer applied. Merely 2 sentences. Have fun nursing your patient. Refrain from reaching out. I positioned the pen neatly atop the message. Conclusive. Full stop. Luggage rolled toward exit. Shoes slipped on. Heavy jacket lifted from peg. Keys rested inside the entry dish. I detached mine from the shared ring containing the apartment access. Hers remained behind in the ceramic holder. It clinked softly upon landing. Door opened. Crisp evening breeze swept inward, sharp and refreshing. No backward glance. I crossed threshold, drawing panel closed. Lock engaged with quiet finality. Down in the dim subterranean lot, bag stowed in trunk. Driver's seat claimed. Engine turned over. Only afterward did phone emerge. Messaging opened. Best Matreon. 3 brief lines composed. Relationship terminated. Couch required temporarily. Arriving shortly. Response arrived swiftly. Entrance unlocked. Holding up all right. Affirmative. Truthfully. Prior to shifting into gear, settings menu accessed. Her entry located. Number blocked. Social platforms followed: Instagram, Facebook, Messenger. Blocked across each. Blocked. Blocked. Under 60 seconds total. Routine procedure. Then departure commenced. Not rage-fueled. Not tear-streaked. Departure mirrored quitting, an unsuitable position with quiet liberation and steady attention toward whatever followed. Vehicle interior held no hollow quiet, it brimmed with open potential. Ryan's old sofa resembled a worn velvet beast carrying hints of old lager and canine. Nothing had ever felt more welcoming. 3 consecutive days no absence reported. Routine maintained. Coding completed. Discussions joined. Midday sandwich consumed at workstation. Coworkers detected 0 change. Planet continued rotation. First insights surfaced. Chest cavity might resemble a blast zone, yet fingers could still produce clean, effective script. Existence permitted segmentation previously unnoticed. Minimal elaboration offered to Ryan. Evening 1, beer thrust into palm. Only 4 words spoken. She selected otherwise. Therefore I departed. He understood Ethan's recurring role, expression shadowed. What exactly happened, man? Irrelevant now, I stated genuinely. Verbalizing damage felt equivalent to granting it authority, releasing it from mental quarantine. Chapter closed. Bottles touched in toast. Sofa remains available indefinitely. Atmosphere at Ryan's differed markedly. Absent the charged anticipation permeating prior apartment weeks. Constant tiptoeing around impending Ethan crises disrupting schedules. Present instead calm neutrality. Fresh slate. Owned by me. Seriously, why do you stay so paranoid whenever he's involved? If your feelings for me were genuine, you'd see I'm simply acting like a true friend. Nobody else steps up for him. There lay the distorted reasoning. My limit became paranoia. My unease became proof I didn't care enough. Or favoring another guy became heroic kindness. And if your feelings for me were genuine, I answered, quieter now, eerily steady, you wouldn't demand I vacate my own mattress for somebody else. Her posture tightened. The caring facade wavered, exposing a spark of annoyance. Irritation that I refused to fulfill my scripted part in her performance. I'm not demanding you abandon your mattress. I'm requesting one evening of empathy, to assist a person in pain. But apparently that exceeds your capacity. She pivoted toward the doorway, prepared to greet her injured soul in the front room. Actually, I am requesting. So decide. I gave no reply. I simply observed her exit. 20 minutes later, the entrance door swung wide. His thick, intoxicated words rang out too loudly. Atch. She hushed him quickly. A light laugh escaped her, it ever present when I endured hard moments. Footsteps shuffled, followed by the thud of dropped belongings. I lingered in the bedroom doorway's shadow. The living room picture disgusted me. Ethan slumped dramatically in the recliner, embodying wounded creativity perfectly. Chloe knelt close, setting a water tumbler nearby. I feel completely worthless, Chloe, he slurred, raking fingers through messy strands. You're far from worthless. Your photography is exceptional. The audience simply isn't prepared yet. Her palm rested along his forearm. Come, let's get you comfortable. Hey. She supported his rise. He depended on her far more than required. While they progressed down the corridor toward our sleeping quarters, his gaze slid past her and locked onto mine through the low light. No alcohol fog clouded that stare. It gleamed clear, precise, overflowing with victory. A fleeting barely there grin brushed his mouth before his head drooped dramatically onto her shoulder again. She guided him inside the room, speaking in gentle tones. I remained framed in the entrance. She directed him straight to my usual position, the pillow where my novel rested on the small table. He dropped onto it heavily, exhaling in relief. She leaned down, drawing the coverlet snugly beneath his chin with familiar gentleness. Rest now, all right, she murmured. You'll remain nearby. His plea sounded pitifully weak. Right here. I'll fetch a cool towel for your head. You seem slightly feverish. She smoothed his fringe aside. Then she spun, and at last noticed me standing motionless. No remorse or regret softened her features. They solidified into stubborn resolve. A wordless declaration, this defines decency. She strode past without speaking, bound for the sink area.
The verdict had landed.
I could retreat to the sofa in the residence I paid half for, accepting downgrade or create drama. At last, it crystallized. This concerned Ethan only superficially. Mobile became inert object, alerts limited to professional correspondence, and Ryan checking pizza interest. Although contacts severed everywhere, old reflex lingered, occasional instinctive glance downward, echo of former tension, anticipating apology message or far likely a fresh request. Dread's disappearance registered physically. Comparable to releasing long-carried burden. Ryan reluctantly served as indirect informant. Fourth dawn, he pushed device toward me across counter. She's messaging me directly now. Screen examined. Captured text from her, Ryan. He's staying with you? Kindly ask him contact me. This absurdity has gone far enough. Device returned. No obligation. Plain intermediary. Relay whatever suits. Informed her. You breathe and require nothing further. Brief hesitation. Her follow-up arrived. He intends discarding 3 years because of a single mix-up. A mix-up term deliberately minimized, almost insultingly trivializing. Repackaged deliberate preference plus firm limit into mere communication error. Response registered only faint, remote disdain. Leave it unanswered. Pattern evolved. Same afternoon, fresh capture. Ethan departed earlier today. Satisfied yet? Perhaps adult discussion possible now? Evening brought another? Won't plead, Alex. However, childish conduct continues. Return home wheel resolve sensibly. You exaggerate everything wildly. Every dispatch exemplified apology avoidance. Accusations centered upon my supposed emotional mishandling, exaggeration, immaturity. Assertion problem vanished, teeth and gone. Invitation back to discussion platform. Where precedent dictated only my concessions. Reading evoked no heat.
I'm merely
Detached curiosity, like studying anticipated animal responses. She fails grasping reality, Ryan muttered, head shaking slowly. Believes ongoing argument exists. Unaware conflict concluded permanently. Accurate assessment. No battle remained. Territory relinquished willingly. Interest in reclaiming it non-existent. Following 7 days lunch hour utilized locating residence. Contemporary, impersonal one-bedroom unit inside complex offering fitness center plus front desk service. Walls carried zero shared history. Lease executed for full year. When leasing agent inquired relocation motive, simply replied, fresh environment desired. Honest answer. Entramaid carrying single bag, inflatable mattress, lone seat. Sparsity felt indulgent. Personal schedule reconstruction commenced completely independent of prior attachment. Local bouldering facility joined. Effort provided clean mental reset through exertion. Renewed contact established with pair of university acquaintances, gradually distanced earlier. Chloe deemed them somewhat juvenile previously. Group trivia evening produced last place finish amid non-stop amusement. Ryan supplied ongoing commentary reports, gradually turning darkly humorous. Acquaintance Lauren spotted Chloe plus Ethan sharing upscale weekend brunch spot. Described atmosphere intimate. Ryan recounted fingers quoting. Pancake sharing, intimate level. Days afterward, Chloe uploaded trail photograph. Device passed showing elevated path overlooking urban expanse. Chloe wore brand new premium active clothing, radiating joy. Ethan positioned directly behind, palms resting atop her shoulders. Staring camera ward displaying rehearsed brooding charisma. Caption declared, finally locating somebody truly valuing your spontaneous nature, dawn breaking across peaks. Hashtag fresh chapter, hashtag refusing mediocrity, stared longest at final tag refusing mediocrity sliced deepest. Public reframing entire shared history as compromise endured. Storyline unmistakable. Dependable. Consistent Alex represented dull security choice. Unstable, dependent Ethan symbolized excitement. Recalled multiple postponed getaways canceled due Ethan artistic breakdowns demanding Chloe intervention. Recalled endless weekends absorbing grievances across overpriced beverages tabs typically mine. Former self might have experienced sharp envy spike, self-doubt surge, present self registered deep, nearly compassionate realization. Selection involved no superior partner. Selection concerned superior storyline. Narrative casting her dynamic rescuer instead, equal companion within steady existence. Summit Trek likely concluded her chauffeuring fueling vehicle, enduring foot pain complaints. Device returned. Best wishes to both. No resentment felt. Purpose, simply acquaintance now. Social media phrasing, irrelevant. Second insight crystallized. Detachment constitutes emotion, absence not, presence. Pure stillness, consequence never struck dramatically. Naturally, steadily, naturally like moisture seeking structural weaknesses. Tuesday dusk, roughly 21 days post-departure. Busy constructing modular shelving unit inside, fresh resident stool, gripped audio discussion murmuring quietly. Device vibrated against flooring. Ryan calling, speaker engaged. What's happening? Tone blended astonishment plus dark amusement. You won't credit recent development, Lauren phoned earlier. Ethan detained. Tool paused mid-turn. Continue. Minor larceny charge. Evidently exited premium photography retailer carrying several $1,000 optic concealed inside coat. Surveillance captured everything perfectly. Complete amateur no disguise attempted. Resume tightening fastener. Interesting. Continues further. Ryan's enthusiasm built. Police investigation triggered broader review. Individual carries obligations across numerous parties. Repeated identical hardship tale borrowing cash. Oh, money. Supposedly pending major commission settlement. Your former partner advanced him $3,000 recently supposedly camera gear upgrade. Instant mental alignment occurred. Recent outdoor wardrobe. Lavish dining outings. Hardly triumphant restart. Merely recycled scheme. Current targeter. Lauren mentioned situation turning chaotic. Another lender, female illustrator, involved several months, believed monogamy existed. Discovered Chloe existence, reacted explosively, allegedly alerted store security beforehand. Warning, watch Ethan, closely known manipulator. Elements coalesced, forming pitifully transparent portrait. Chronic victim juggling multiple rescuers simultaneously. Current Chloe status? Inquired, tonelessly pure information gathering, zero emotional investment. Per Lauren, completely devastated. Mortified, disgraced, minus $3,000, likely unaffordable. Social circle splintering, portion sympathizes. Remainder asserts self-inflicted outcome, began moment she Ryan hesitated, chose him instead of me. Completed sentence evenly. Precisely. No issue saying aloud. Plenty private commentary circulating along lines of forewarned you. Her sibling Emma, reportedly livid. Final fastener secured. Unit stood solid, practical, ready, replied calmly, merely sequenced regrettable decisions. Extended quiet followed online. That's entire reaction? Sequence regrettable decisions? Man deceived her, took money unlawfully. Friends criticizing harshly. No trace sympathy whatsoever. Tool placed aside. Gaze toward neat assembly, vacant surfaces awaiting chosen contents. Registered calm serenity surrounding personal territory. None whatsoever. Declaration absolute. Feeling sympathy would indicate lingering tie to ongoing chaos. Connections severed. Outcomes directly trace back choices made. Perceived struggling creator, recognized opportunist. Judgment labeled paranoia. Current reality minus funds, plus social standing. Compassion wouldn't recover losses or repair relationships. Merely additional distraction. Ryan fell silent briefly. Damn. Truly detached completely, aren't you? Currently inside residence constructing storage. Faint smile formed.